The sun had just set over the horizon and I was ready to go back home. I spent the entire summer day at the amusement park with some of my friends, so we had collectively decided that we should head back home. As we are walking near the exit of the amusement park, one of my friends says that he has to take a shit, so we all wait outside of the restroom to wait for him to finish. After waiting for only 20 seconds, I decided that I should go in there and take a piss, since the drive home is over 2 hours. So I enter the restroom and find that both of the stalls are in use, so I just decided to use the urinal. As I begin my piss, I can hear what sounds like someone listening to music on their iPod while taking a shit. The faint but still noticeable sound of country music came creeping through the stall closest to me. I didn't know if this was my friend, or if it was just some random guy who was in there with us, so I didn't say anything. All of a sudden the guy in the middle stall starts tapping his feet gently on the floor. This was a little strange, but I didn't want it to take away from my piss, so I ignored it and continued to jet stream into the fucking urinal. As I was finishing up, the guy in the middle stall who was listening to country began to tap his foot on the floor more violently. With each passing tap, the force of his foot got stronger and stronger, until it sounded like he was trying to destroy the fucking tile floor. It was at this time that my friend came out of the stall that was on the far side of the restroom, and I give him a look like, what the fuck is this guy doing? My friend smirks at me and says, I have no fucking idea. We are both washing our hands ready to leave the restroom when the unthinkable happens. My friend and I glance over at the middle stall one last time before leaving when the tapping stops. It felt like when his foot stopped tapping the floor, me and my friend's hearts stopped. All of a sudden the man in the stall screams bloody murder. The part that follows haunts me to this day. The sound of violent shit crashing through his body filled the entire restroom. It sounded as if the shit was too large for him to push out, so it ripped his arsehole tissue in the process. The shit landed in the bowl so hard that it cracked open the entire bowl. Shit water quickly filled the room, so me and my friend ran to the door as fast as we could, but the door was locked. We were stuck in this restroom with shit water slowly filling up the entire restroom. We didn't know what to do at this point, so we both jumped on top of the sink so that we weren't in the shit water. The drain in the bathroom quickly clogged with shards of shit, so the water level inside of the restroom continued to rise. We didn't know what to do, and we both feared that this was the end. The shit water eventually rose up to where the sinks were, so we had no choice but to get covered in shit water. The water continued to rise until it was about a foot below the ceiling. Me and my friend were both struggling to get air as the shit made it hard to breathe. The shit water was about to go past our heads when all of a sudden, boom jabbed samabs d asden. The water inside of the restroom quickly began to drain. It turns out that a poor man had opened the restroom door from the outside. Everyone was staring at me as I was standing with my ass exposed, in front of the entire school. All of my dreams were realized in this instant. Let me rewind back a couple of hours to tell the tale of the time I saved hundreds of people. So it was your average day. People walking up and down the halls, doors opening and closing, and people talking with their friends. I was walking to my last class of the day when this substitute teacher came up to me. He signaled his hand to me to start a conversation with him. I asked what's up. He told me that the school was planning on doing a talent show later that day, but they were having a bit of a crisis because someone who was going to perform didn't show up to school that day. This substitute teacher was one of the most well-respected substitutes at the entire school, so when he asked me if I could participate in it, I couldn't say no. Fast forward to 10 minutes before the talent show. I have no idea what I am going to do, so I just stand around trying to quickly think of something. As I was stuck with nothing but my own thoughts, everyone started heading onto the stage for the introduction. I didn't notice this until the last person walked out, so I awkwardly tried to make my way onto the stage. The teacher running the entire event talked about all of the performances that were going to be shown and then left. The first person on the stage started doing their shtick. It was just some boring bullshit where they balanced 5 plates on their genitalia. The next person started singing some annoying popular pop song that made me wince my ass off. The third person began to play the ukulele, but they were shit at it, and I tried not to laugh since I was on stage. The fourth person just dabbed like a piece of shit. And now, the spotlight was on me. I didn't know what to do. The whole crowd just stared at me as the entire room just became silent. Beads of sweat formed on my forehead, and I couldn't even think. I did what came naturally to me. I took off my pants. I took a squat. And I took the biggest shit I could have ever exhaled from my anus. The shit looked a bit like Shrek wearing a thong. The entire crowd froze. Pure silence. Suddenly, one person in the crowd with tears in their eyes stands up and starts clapping. Another person stands up and starts clapping. And another, until the entire room was filled with applause. I was a hero.